so some of you know, it's business coaching. Do you guys care why I'm here? Probably not. Let's just move on. We're going to talk about personal leadership strategy today. This is Batman, right? Old Michael Keaton Batman. Awesome Batman. He's got some great interpersonal communication, right? He's got some great time management skills. Bruce Wayne and Batman and Figure Out Where to Sleep. And he's got some good self-motivation because you have to if you run around in tights, solving crime, in addition to being a millionaire. Fair enough? Fair. So we're just going to model this guy. So first we're going to talk about interpersonal communication. I would like to do a little exercise today, get you guys moving. We got 1 minute. Somebody have a timer? I left my phone with somebody.
I got it.
All right. You said it for 1 minute? Who said I got it?
I can do that.
Oh, you. Sorry.
Don't worry.
Sorry.
Sorry.
All right, we got 1 minute. I want you to introduce yourself to as many people as you can in 1 minute. Go.
I'm Caleb. Nice to meet you. Caleb. Hi.
Hi,
Halfway down. Hi, nice to meet you. Emily.
Travis, James, good to meet you. How are we doing time-wise?
You have 15 seconds.
Oh, wow. You guys met everybody?
You're so quick.
Nice. We'll call it good enough. You guys gonna get out of here 15 seconds sooner? All right, so would anybody like to volunteer? Who's the most memorable person that you met? How about you? What do you got here?
I'm Caleb.
Caleb, who's the most memorable person that you met?
I don't know, probably you because you stood out here at the front of the room.
All right, fair enough, fair enough. How about you? You met everybody in the room.
Yeah, I actually know like all these people.
Oh, you do? Okay. Are they memorable?
Yeah, Rena's actually pretty memorable to me.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Tell me why.
Throughout my interviewing and resume process, she helped me out through it all. And pretty much is the reason why I landed like the internship I really wanted.
Nice.
Yeah. So
All right.
definitely important to my college career.
All right. Is this something that you want to model a little bit? Like you want to follow in her footsteps?
Yeah, definitely.
All right.
Oh.
All right. Nice.
I was just thinking about saying that.
Is she normally really mean? Or is it just...
No, she's just from New Jersey. She can't help it.
Oh,
Yeah,
nice.
I am sure.
Nice. Very cool. Now we're going to try another exercise in interpersonal communication. We're going to use no words because a lot of people use words just too much, right? And tone, those come with words, but with the girl, I guess some of you guys were in the last speech, she said like, I'm really excited, right?
Yeah.
That was some terrible tone, right? Maybe that's just who she was, but it reflected a little oddly, right? It didn't seem like she was really excited. It seemed like she was pretty bored. Fair enough? So words and tones, I'm figuring you guys are smart. You're here, right? You're in this room right now, so you got to be brilliant. So we're not going to worry about that. We're going to worry about body language. Body language, you can see in the picture here, it's a woman sitting in a chair in 4 different positions, right? Which one do you think is more likely to get her whatever it is that she wants? Unless it's like a suicide note.
All right.
All right.
All right, okay. So what I want you guys to do is pair up. So you guys stand up, pair up. And we're going to use, let's just set the timer for 3 minutes.
Okay.
And you're going to communicate without words or tone, strictly body language, with who you're going to vote for. We'll just say for a presidential election. Is that cool?
That's great.
All right, so everybody pair up. Pair up. If you're not sure who you're going to vote for, just use your body language to describe your confusion.
Time is running.
All right,
Who
go.
we're voting for?
Who are you voting for?
Oh, wait, that made you think that.
John. Who are you saying?
going? Doing well? If they understand who you're voting for, you believe they do, then accentuate why. Or if you figure that you're voting for different people, show them that you disagree. Without punching them. All right, now I want you guys to stop, and I want you to switch pairs and try it again.
That was so hard.
So just switch pairs, switch pairs.
Yeah.
We're gonna try it again for 1 more minute, all right?
I'm gonna worry this is bad.
All right, let's go.
Alright, another guy? Yeah. Got it. Oh, no? Oh, okay. Alright.
You guys are doing well.
Your turn. Yeah.
All right, you guys are doing well. Let's get back in your seats here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Three questions? Oh, okay.
All right, so is that pretty hard?
Yeah.
A little bit hard? Did you learn some stuff from the other people? Good or bad? You were able to do it though, right? All right, so my whole point in doing all this is that body language is huge. You could argue, and some studies prove that you could challenge, that words and tone are a very small portion of communication, that body language is much larger. Of course, that's not the truth with phone, and it's definitely not the truth with texting. Has anybody ever texted someone and the message got conveyed a little bit differently than what you intended? What do you suppose you could blame that on? There's no body language, right?
Their beliefs.
There's certainly no tone. And their beliefs, without a doubt.
Yeah.
So sometimes texting, though often convenient, is not the best way to communicate. For example, if you said, we need to talk over text. Right? Not ideal. And I just want to see what you want on your pizza. Okay, so is anybody, I stole this from Mystery. Mystery is a pickup artist. So like picking up girls and guys is a dating thing, right? The 4-second rule is when you walk into a place, you have 4 seconds to go talk to the person that you locked eyes with. Does that make sense? So instead of getting in your head and being like, he or she doesn't want to talk to me, or just 4 seconds, just do it, right? So everybody knows everybody else in this room, is that true? That is not true. Okay.
Well.
We got 4 seconds, I need you to go meet someone you don't know right now. 4 seconds. 1, 2, Four. All right, get to know them. 30 seconds.
I'm
When you're a little younger.
getting to know you.
Where
you go to school?
All right, let's wrap it up. Find your seat. So did everybody meet someone? 4 seconds, no problem? You said you're from New Jersey, you said, right?
Originally, yeah.
So you probably have no problem with this at all.
No,
Not even a little bit.
not really.
Does anybody feel a little bit of challenge with the 4 second thing? We got a powerful team here. I like that. You're a little bit of challenge?
Well, it depends.
Okay. Just throw it out there. It's okay.
Sometimes, I mean, if it's like a professional environment, like, I guess like this one, it's easy to get.
Sure.
But sometimes with bars, and you say girl, and
Right?
4 seconds, that's kind of fast. I mean, for some people.
It's very fast. That's very fast.
Unless you have like a lot of strength.
Right? But you remember how you didn't need coffee? We can do the same thing with alcohol.
Yeah,
We'll get to that later. During your conversations when you're talking with someone, just raise your hand if you dominated the conversation. All right, we got one. All right, raise your hand if you did not dominate the conversation the other person did.
Where's your mind?
Okay, you guys are pretty evenly matched. You
Yeah.
talked and I talked and you talked and I talked. My point in saying this is that oftentimes you want to control the conversation. Because if you can control the conversation, you can lead the person where the answers, the questions that you're going to ask them, you can guide them, somewhat like a politician, and you can control where it goes. For example, in a job interview, you can control the conversation. And it helps you because there may be some things that you don't want them to ask. For example, maybe you don't want them to really concentrate on your GPA, right? So, does anybody here have a GPA that they love? Hope so, someone? Okay. What if they weren't asking you about your GPA? Is there something that you could say or ask them without coming outright and saying, hey, did you see my GPA? That you could steer the conversation? Well, let's do this a little bit different way. Who is super shy? Maybe we should do it the other way, because a shy person's not going to want to raise their hand, right? Who is not shy? Not shy. All right, not shy, not shy. Are you shy?
Kind of, sort of.
Kinda,
Depends on
sorta?
the situation, like here, I'm getting to know a lot of people, so.
All right, and who is definitely not shy? Just throw your arm up. You're definitely not shy. All right, Josh,
Yeah.
I want you to have a conversation with
Katie.
Katie. Okay, you are going to ask Katie, what do you like to do, Katie? What do you do for fun?
I don't know, I like to golf.
You like to golf?
I do.
Okay, alone?
No, friends.
Okay. All right, I want you to just talk to her about golf.
What kind of clubs do you have?
All of them, I guess. I got a driver, putter, I don't know.
Nice. And
Yeah.
you're from where again?
Wisconsin.
Wisconsin. Nice. So how many courses do you guys have in?
In my area, probably around 3 or 4, depending. I kind of venture out sometimes.
And what's your favorite one?
I've never played Whistling Straits, but I love Whistling Straits. It's very pretty.
Whistling Straits.
Yeah, it's where they held the PGA Championship,
Oh.
and I got to go at Georgia Speed, so that was really cool.
Yeah, I'm from San Diego, so we have the Torrey Pines
Mhm.
golf course. I have not played it, but I would like to one day. I enjoy golf.
Nice, very cool. So we're going to point out a couple things here. How did you control the conversation? You did control the conversation, so we're just going to point out how you did. Do you know how you did?
Questions?
Questions. The power of questions. That was beautiful, right? And what did you do?
Answered the question.
You answered the questions. Did you ask any questions back?
No, I didn't.
Okay, so now we're going to do the same thing. What do you like to do? Just pick something, doesn't matter. Fighter pilot.
I like to drive.
All right, he likes to drive. So I want you to talk to him about driving, and I want you to control the conversation. Okay?
Alright. Where do you like to drive?
So I've driven across the country in some parts. So I used to live in Bozeman, Montana, and before that I lived in San Diego. So I've driven from San Diego up to Montana. I've even driven up to Alaska and then down to Chicago for school. So I like to get on open road, 85 plus.
Where's your favorite place to stop?
Probably some like tasty, like road stop, like an In-N-Out Burger in
Mhm.
California.
I've never been there, but I really want to go.
Great, like animal style fries.
Mhm.
It's amazing.
Any particular city that you really love?
San Diego's cool. San Francisco, like New York. Thing I'm learning related to driving is that it's not really like feasible to have a car in Chicago. So I sold my truck.
Yeah, what kind of truck is it?
Ford F-150, red, extended cab.
Do you just drive by yourself, or?
For the most part, but it was nice having an extra seat so I could take people with me if I needed to.
Nice. All right, great, cool. So how comfortable were you with that?
Pretty comfortable, yeah.
All right. From your body language, it seemed like you were a little,
Timid?
yeah. It was because you were frozen, solid. And when he was asking you questions, he was looking at you. Like you were facing towards me, which is cool. I'm a presenter, it's all right. But he was turned towards you.
And I was,
You were not. Right? So not right or wrong, but it's something that people are going to pick up on.
Mhm.
So when he's giving you answers and you're faced 90 degrees from him, how involved do you think he is in your conversation? All right. So if you, let's say you were doing a job interview and he was going to hire you, would that be ideal? Because he's like, clearly this girl's not interested in what I got to offer. Make sense?
Yeah.
All right, so now we're going to try another thing, but I want everybody to pair up. And it's, everybody's kind of paired up here. I guess, can you guys?
You have a
If we got, you got them? You got him? We got pair, or we got you two. Is that cool? All right, so what we're going to do is one of you is going to be the dominant one. I'm the dominant one. One of you gets to be the dominant one, and you're just going to control the conversation. And then when I say switch, the other person is going to be the dominant one. And does any, I didn't tell you guys how to switch, right? Did I? So let me give you an example. Peter, you like soccer, right?
I do.
All right, I'm James. Tell me about soccer.
Soccer is the most popular sport in the world, and it's
In the
actually
world?
football is not soccer.
All right. Is football like in America or football like
No,
in Argentina?
American football is not, because it's played with hand, it should be called handball.
Yep. All right.
Football, soccer is actually played with feet and the ball, so it's football, makes sense.
Gotcha. It does to me with the feet. What? I
Yep.
get it. Yep. All right. You must like it.
I do like
All right. If there was anything else in the world that was better than soccer, what would it be?
ice cream.
Ice cream?
For sport,
Oh.
probably I like.
Did you say ice cream? Seriously? That's pretty cool.
Because my South Dakota makes one of the best ice creams in the area. So I
Nice.
love ice cream. But in sports, maybe basketball.
All right. I want you, the next question that I ask, I want you to answer it and then flow into the question.
Okay.
All right. So, what is your favorite position to play in soccer?
I like to be a forward so I can score goals. Do you play any sports?
I run and I lift weights, but I just never really got into
What's
sports.
your maximum chest? I don't know. Bench.
I don't, less than I want it to be. So, because you're always striving for more.
Well,
So my point there is saying that you can control the conversation, right? You can steer it just by answering and then asking. Sometimes you don't even need to ask. For example, throw another question at me.
so where did you go to college?
That's a great question. You know where I went to college?
I don't, that's why I asked.
My point there is saying, so clear. My point there is saying that if you answer a question with a question, you can take the dominance from them and then you control it.
I'm going to Kentucky.
And then sometimes you get two dominant people and they're just asking questions back and forth. And that's what happens when you have political question and answers, right? Appreciate you asking that. Great question. And then I just move into another question, right? So, we're going to do this exercise, right? Who's, just raise your hands for dominant this first time? All right, both hands, yeah. All right, you're going to go for a little bit, and then when I say switch, the other person needs to change over so that they're dominant. And the currently dominant person, I don't want you to make it easy. I want you to challenge them a little bit. Because the dominant person is going to be like, give me the conversation back, right?
Yeah.
Fair? So let's start it up, we'll go for a minute, and then switch. Alright, let's switch.
I don't know.
Alright, you guys wrap it up? Alright, how did you like that? Was that easy? Good? Bad? Hard? Difficult? Loved it? Was it difficult to be the dominant one?
We used to like switching every time.
Alright.
What's your favorite team?
I don't know, nobody can know.
That's It's a great point, because there's certainly sometimes, my whole point in saying all this is that there's going to be times that you want to control the conversation. In my world, it's most of them. And then there's going to be times when you want to let them believe that they have control, right? I'm not saying give up control. I'm saying allow them to have temporary control. Does that make sense? So you don't want to get in fisticuffs over something, right? Let's get take care of this. But you understand what I'm saying? So did anybody have a very hard time being the dominant one? Anybody at all? All right, this is cool. We got a live group here, a smart group. I like this. All right, so the power of questions here, they are great, aren't they?
Absolutely.
I say this because you can say a statement and then you can follow it with something like that, like a question, and you get agreeance, which essentially means that you get compliance, and the person is into you, right? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yes, it does. All right, so this is another thing with what the voices in your head say. We're going to do another test similar to what we did at the last presentation. So if you were at the last presentation, I'm going to halfway apologize and halfway just welcome you to take this test again, right? All right. Holy cow, is that small? I mean, I can see it, but can you guys see that?
Yeah.
All right. What do you do when you're faced with a difficult problem, such as having a huge Alex Trebek in a very small text? Do you ignore it and hope it will go away? In this case, it will the next slide. Do you complain to all your friends and family? I mean, there's people around you. Anybody complaining? No complaints here. I love that. How about turning it over to someone else to worry about? How about brainstorm until you find a creative solution? Simple enough. So, we're going to move into time management here, right? I guess I should back up here, right? Did anybody say A? Any B's? Any C's? We're all brainstormers here? Every one of you?
Sure.
All right. Simple enough. Do you guys like brainstorming?
Love it.
You do not like
I'm just gonna
brainstorming?
practice.
All right. We're going to talk about time management here. This is another Elon Musk side, mainly because I put the slideshow together last night. I was running out of pictures. Cool? All right, so Elon Musk, he's got a lot going on, right? So from a time management point of view, he's got to juggle a fair amount, which I'm guessing is not too far off from you guys. You guys got a lot going on, right? You mind if I pick on you?
No.
All right. What do you have going on in your life right now?
Well, I have 6 classes right now.
All right.
Trying to get a job for the next couple of months until I start my internship.
Okay.
So in the midst of that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anything else?
I guess some personal things.
Do you play soccer?
No.
Okay. Any fun stuff? Just looking for a job and going to class. That's what I do.
Kind of, yeah, spending time with family and friends.
Okay.
Time.
All right. Would you consider yourself pretty well managed from a time point of view, or do you feel a little stressed out sometimes?
I feel stressed out sometimes
All right.
during, finals time and those 2 weeks you have group projects and
Gotcha.
exams.
All right. Anybody else relate to that? Cool. Just about everyone? Fair to say? All right. So I'm going to tell you a little secret here. It's just going to be between us. Nobody knows the answer for time management. They can say that they do and all that kind of stuff, but I'm just telling you right now, I don't know it. Nobody does. And I'm going to tell you why. Because what works for one person may not necessarily work for the other person. It's even highly unlikely that it will work for everyone. Does that make sense? So what we're going to do here with this little exercise is to go through some options that you have and try to figure out what works best for you. So I am a to-do list person. And a lot of people time management-wise say that's a terrible idea, but it works for me. I can't tell you why it works, it just does. Anybody else here a to-do list person? It must just be power players. Right? Anybody ever have something on their to-do list, or they did something that wasn't on that list, they added it on the list just so they could cross it off?
Yes.
Yeah, totally. Love it. So what happens here is essentially you want to feel and know that you accomplished something, right? That's why I love the to-do list. I can feel like I actually did something. People without to-do lists, screw them, right? You got other people that just use scrap pieces of paper. The difference between a to-do list that I'm talking about and a scrap piece of paper is to-do list is organized, right? You got a little thing here. Is that to-do list on there?
No, this is just like a thing to organize, like the summit
Gotcha.
information.
Okay, so if I give you something to do later today, would you write it down in there?
Yeah.
All right. And is there anywhere else that you would write it down? Or put it?
I mean, if it was something that I need, like a reminder type thing, I'd write it down and probably put a reminder on my phone.
Gotcha.
If it's something I had a day or two to do, I just put it on the list.
All right.
Look back on it.
Simple enough. How about if I gave you something, Peter, to do? What would you do with it?
I'll just remember and do it when,
Just remember. Not even write it down.
now.
Okay. I'm not saying good or bad. Does that work for you?
Right.
Okay. See, does anybody have a time management thing that does not work for them? Or wants a little bit of help with it? A little bit. It's okay. It's a safe place. You can raise your hand. All right. Tell me, should we help her?
Yeah.
All right. We're all going to help. The reason that we're all going to help you is because, like I said, I do not have all the answers, right? I try to say that I do, but my wife tells me I don't. So, whatever. I'm assuming we can all come up with a way to help you. Is that cool? All right. How about you tell me, what do you have right now for time management? System.
I have a really detailed Google Calendar,
All right.
and that has like the dates of everything that's due, so I don't forget.
Nice.
And then on a day-to-day basis, I make a to-dos of today, and I write the date, and I chunk it out by class and other, and then that other pile gets really large, and I feel like things aren't as prioritized as they should be. So
All
I'll
right.
add things like eat lunch and then cross it off. So,
Holy cow. I gotta pause for a second because that is like exactly my system. To a T. Oh, totally. Yeah, if it's not on Google Calendar, it doesn't
it's
exist.
not, yeah. It's not-
Yeah, it does. I don't care if it's in the world. It's not on Google Calendar. It's not happening. And the to-do list, beautiful. How do you want to fix it? Because to me that sounds all right.
It's not prioritized. I feel like I'll put like a large, I have a 20-page paper due on the 20th, and I just wrote it casually, like one-liner, 20-page paper for this class. That is something that needs to be broken down and be like, I think I should start writing like first page of 20-page paper, second, you know what I mean?
All right.
Because I feel like it ends up being so like overwhelming that I'm like, oh, I'm just gonna do something else right now, and the more, if I cross out more, it'll feel like I did more, but I really,
Right.
this is like a big thing, even if
Sure.
it's one thing,
All right.
so
What about color coding?
that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Or like making it last longer than one day, like on the calendar. That's what I do for long-term projects, like make it last like the 5 days before, including if I want to work on it then.
Tell me, what else would you do besides writing this 20-page paper? I mean, that sounds like a blast.
I mean, like other assignments that are due sooner for other classes.
Okay,
It's not that, I don't know, I feel like it's important, but,
right.
what else, like homework?
Well, like when you say you do something else, you're like, I'm gonna play on Facebook, or like, I'm gonna go play soccer.
Readings for other class, other like class papers, meeting up with group project people from
Okay.
different classes.
Okay, so all the stuff you're telling me sounds like it's important.
Yeah.
Is that to say that if you didn't get the 20-page paper done, it would be because you didn't have enough time?
It's because I didn't put it, I didn't think I just didn't make it manageable enough.
Gotcha, okay. So I'm gonna give you one option. It may or may not work for you. Option one, and this is what I would consider to be a fairly important one, is to figure out the reason that you're doing whatever task that you're giving yourself, right? And by reason, I mean why, and I don't mean only because it's due, right? It's because there's a reason that it's due, right? So we're gonna take this a few layers in. Are you cool with that?
Sure.
Okay, so 20-page paper is due on the 20th. Why is it due on the 20th?
Because we are presenting on the 22nd.
All right.
On our findings of that paper.
Okay, so if you don't do that paper, what happens?
I can do my presentation.
Okay, and if you can't do your presentation, what happens?
Well, there goes 50% of my grades.
All right, and if you lose 50% of your grade, what happens?
I will delay graduating, and that would not be good.
Okay, what happens if you delay graduating?
I can't start my job.
Okay, if you can't start your job, what happens?
I don't know. You're pretty scary.
Yeah.
That is the whole point. So would you hear some language and you hear some tone there? Do you see some body language? If you were here right now, would you want to work on that 20-page paper?
I guess.
So, the whole, I don't want to make it.
We need some Kleenex, right?
So the whole point there is that you figure out the reason
Yeah.
for why you're doing what you're doing, right? Because there's probably some other stuff that's on your to-do list, but it's not necessarily the most important thing in the world, right?
Yeah, it's not-
Maybe this would take precedence.
Sure.
Maybe it's not worth 50% of your grade. Maybe you should do this before that, or at least knock out 5 pages of it. I'm not saying right or wrong either way, but if you concentrate on the reasons, the why that you do something, that is hella good motivation to get you going on it.
That's true.
Fair? Okay, because you're almost crying there.
No.
Ish,
no.
or just a little like,
Reading, it's called.
it's funny, Bear, I'll get it later. So, does that make sense? You concentrate on the why a little bit. So maybe just as an exercise, this is just possibly, maybe if it works out, every time you put something in your to-do list, I want you to put a quick, easy, simple sentence about why you need time. Fair? And I want you to go, when you put that sentence, you don't say because it's due, you say because I'll lose half my grade and I won't be able to get a job. Do you think if you put that in there that you'd be like, oh, I should probably get that done? Or would you be like, man, I don't need a job. They're overrated. School? So does that make sense?
Yes.
You guys think that's a decent idea?
Yes.
All right, will that motivate you a little bit?
Yes.
Are you good?
I think so.
You could breathe a little better then?
Yeah.
Okay.
So is that a way to prioritize what, like, so that paper's so much more important than maybe she originally thought?
Correct.
And so that moves it up the list by identifying like the key
Exactly.
motivation behind it.
The idea there, that's a great point. The idea there is to remove it, or not remove it, but just change it from subconscious to conscious. Because in the back of your head, you know that I'll probably get it done.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll do okay. I'll pass the class. I'll get a job. Probably. Right? Well, that's subconscious. Consciously, man, I got other stuff to do. Right? Is there anybody here that has not accomplished a goal? Ever? Any goal? Ever?
No, you didn't tell us.
I thought that I was going to fly by the time I was 16. I was going to be a pilot. Fly a plane, right? You can get a pilot's license when you're 16. I am way over 16, and I still do not have my pilot's license. You know why?
Why?
Because consciously I was like, that'll happen. Subconsciously, that ain't going to happen. It's just not going to happen. Because I didn't do any of the things that needed to be done to get my pilot's license, right? I didn't even go to the airport. So the first time I flew in an airplane, I was 21 years old. So like, it's tough to get a pilot's license if you never even got in a plane, right? My point in saying that is, the reason wasn't really big enough. I'm 16, I have a pilot's license, but no plane. What am I going to do? Okay, guys, you want to look at it? Right? It's just, there's no motivation there. So in my calendar, I put, get pilot's license just cause, right? And so it gets moved to the back burner. Whereas a 20-page report that you need to do because you need a job, right? Once you get in a few layers. If you don't have a job, you'll just be on the street living in a cardboard box. And cardboard boxes are pretty uncomfortable to sleep in, right? So if I don't do this 20-page report, I have to sleep in a cardboard box. I did that 20-page report. I knocked the thing out in an hour. Smoking fingers. Does that make sense? That's the whole idea, is to bring the reason into your consciousness. Is that fair?
Yeah.
All right. Does anybody else have any other suggestions for her? It's okay if you do, safe place. No? Okay, that's cool. So this is, I didn't even see what was on here. Find out your why. Boop. Do you think that'll help anybody else here?
Oh, yeah.
All right, cool. And the find out your why, you want to dig at least 3 or 4 layers down. So remember how we did that, where you got a little quiver in there, which is totally cool? That's where we want to get you. You want to get to the point where it hurts not to do it. Fair? Because when it hurts not to do it, what is going to feel good? Doing it. All right. Then there's always the delegate. I'm not sure if you guys have other people that can do stuff for you when you're in school, at least legally. I'm not sure how that works. So eventually you're going to get to a point where you have a job and you have people underneath you. Maybe, is anybody thinking about starting their own business eventually? Someday? All right, we got a few people. So the beautiful part about starting your own business is you can have other people do stuff for you, right? For example, I have a shared receptionist service right now. When somebody calls my business, I get a receptionist that answers the phone. And I have other companies that hire us, and we take care of their phone calls. We take care of their emails and their calendar and all that kind of stuff. And delegate. It's beautiful. Because when you delegate, it's getting done, and it doesn't take your time. The beautiful thing about delegating, it doesn't have to be on your to-do list. It's done. As long as you delegate it to the right people, right? There's some people that just procrastinate. Any procrastinators here? Yeah, totally. Are you okay with that? I'll tell you later. Right? Is there any way that you could think of to fix that? I'm going to pick on you. What's your name?
Me?
Yeah.
Vinny.
I'm James. I didn't see your name tag. That's okay.
I don't have one.
That's okay. Tell me about your procrastination.
Well, sometimes I have like assignments due at like 12 a.m. and I don't start them until like 11.
They're due at 12 a.m.?
12, yeah.
Okay. And you don't start?
At night and I don't start them until like 11, until like they're due.
All right. Tell me why.
It's just like I get on the laptop, I just open the browser, open the Blackboard website, and then I'm on it and I see like it's over, then I'll just do something else.
All right. Something else fun or different assignment?
fun or anything like open up mics or stuff like that.
Okay. Are you, I don't wanna make you cry again. So, I don't wanna make it quick, it's like, I don't wanna get you shaky, right?
Okay.
But maybe we should. Because if we don't, do you think you'll keep procrastinating?
I mean, I guess.
Yes, you don't sound very certain about that. Procrastination has worked for you a little bit then.
I mean, I get things done, but it's like usually at the last moment. And sometimes, like there's a 10% chance it doesn't get done.
All right,
Like it'll go over the due date and I'll miss the points.
okay,
So
and you're okay with that?
I'm not okay with that. I would have get that done earlier so that I get all the points for the assignment.
All right.
But it's very hard to not procrastinate.
So let me ask you a simple question here. Now procrastinators, you just shake your head if you agree with this. Do you get more done in a shorter period of time when you do it later? Or do you feel like you do?
I think I do.
You think you do, okay. So like if something is due in an hour, you can, and they gave it to you 2 weeks ago, but now it's due in an hour. Can you get it done?
I mean, I can get it done, but the quality won't be as good as if I would have something to do.
But still, it's done and it's in an hour versus being done and took you 3 hours, right? So I mean, from a time management point of view, it's probably not that bad. Fair?
Yeah.
But is that realistic? You're doing kind of shoddy work, right? It only took you an hour, but like this is like a 5th grader wrote this. Fair?
Yes.
So, are you okay with it?
Do it in an hour.
Mhm. Are you okay that you save time by procrastinating?
I mean,
Because essentially it comes down to pain and pleasure, right? We want to avoid pain and gain pleasure. So procrastinating has helped you. Is there any reason that people would procrastinate on purpose? Like, I got the time to do this, but I just don't want to because I heard procrastinating is pretty cool.
I mean, if I procrastinated, it would put pressure on me to do it faster at the end, and I do it anyway.
Beautiful. I like it. So is there some way that you could put pressure on yourself without necessarily procrastinating?
I don't know.
You don't know? Do you think we could do the same thing? Just ask you a question?
Maybe, for example.
Tell me about something that you procrastinated on. It's probably something you got to do right now, but you're not working on.
Okay. All right. So I need to.
I love how you're just clenching your hands. That's beautiful.
I need to fill out a form that needs to be submitted by the end of Wednesday next week.
Okay. A form, we talking like name, address, phone number, or we talking
No,
about taxes?
For my organization back in Purdue,
Okay.
for like an event that's coming up, and
Okay.
I'm starting. Yes.
How long would it take to do it?
2.5 hours.
Holy shit, that's a form and a half.
It's a very
Wow, okay. Is
That's why I've
it,
been procrastinating.
okay,
And you can't save it, so if you sit it, like do it in one.
say it again?
You can't like save the form and come back.
You just gotta commit.
Yeah.
Okay. So, what happens if you don't fill out the form?
We can't do the event. I
You
mean,
can't, say it again?
we can't do the event.
Can't do the event?
Yes.
Okay, so how many people would you let down?
So like 30, 35.
35 people, you let down 35 people. Do they know that you're the one that you would let down?
Yes, they know.
They know. So if you don't fill out this form, 35 people are gonna be like, this guy. This guy.
One job.
2.5, look at, I love that body language. That's so beautiful. Okay, so these 35 people, they could probably do something else anyways. They probably have reports that are due, right? They gotta fill out some forms. So maybe you'll be saving them some time. Is that realistic?
Not really.
Doesn't sound like it, no. Is this pretty important to them?
Yes.
Okay, what happens if they don't go? It doesn't happen.
I mean, so we're trying to raise funds for this event.
Okay,
So if we don't raise funds, we don't have anything for next semester.
okay.
Pretty important event, I guess.
That's a pretty important event.
Yeah.
And in exchange for your 2.5 hours, 35 people get to enjoy better lives. No pressure.
No, they don't. I mean.
They get worse lives?
Okay, yeah. Sorry. They
Okay.
do. They do. They do. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I got a little confused with the word.
Okay, that's okay, that's okay. So, 35 people relying on you, they know who you are. And if you don't do it, they don't get what they're hoping for.
I'm probably going to do it.
Okay. I'm going to ask you for one simple favor. Remove the probably, because that's a soft word. And a soft word, like try, or probably, or maybe, or hopefully, is the same way as saying I'll do it later, I'll do it tomorrow. Which essentially means I'll do it never. But when I do it, it's gonna be kind of crappy, but that's okay because I'm a procrastinator, right? So, tell me again when you're gonna do it?
I'm gonna do it today.
Alright, can you say it really loud?
I am gonna do it today.
Can you say it like you mean it?
I will do the form today. I'll fill out the form
You
today.
guys believe him?
No.
Yeah.
I think you gotta convince this guy. Sonny,
Yeah, sorry.
you're totally, that's honest, man. I appreciate that. You gotta convince Sonny that you're gonna do it.
Sonny,
Yeah,
I'm not gonna let my team down. I am gonna fill out the form today.
you are.
Yes, I am.
Okay, what changed your mind?
Alright,
Oh.
alright. So, do you know anybody here in this room?
I mean, I met them like, I guess yesterday.
Okay, do you have business cards?
Not now.
Okay, do you know this guy next to you?
Yeah, Travis.
Travis, would you consider yourself pretty outgoing?
Yeah.
Alright, scale of 1 to 5.
Probably 4.
Alright, I want you to get his phone number,
Right now?
right now.
Okay.
You're gonna call him tomorrow morning
Okay.
is there stuff going on tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
Alright, in fact, you don't even have to call him, but I want the phone number just in case, you know.
Alright.
You're gonna call him tomorrow morning, and when you ask him if he did the stuff, what is he gonna say?
Yes.
Yes. And what happens if he didn't do the stuff?
Gotta leave them out.
Alright, so do you have an excuse prepared?
If I don't do it,
Yeah.
not really.
No? You'll get that later.
Don't need an excuse.
Okay. So, are you cool with that?
Yeah.
You're gonna follow up with him.
I will.
The beauty of this, we got our whys, we also have accountability. So when you say something, Josh, you mentioned a Ferrari, right?
Yes, sir.
When are you getting a Ferrari?
3 years.
3 years. Fantastic. So now if you told everybody here in 3 years he's getting a Ferrari, right? If we followed up with you in 3 years and you knew that we were going to follow up with you, how likely are you to have that Ferrari?
I work my ass off.
Fuck yeah. So accountability is huge, all right? So figure out your reasons why and have yourself accountable by having other people keep you accountable. Huge, right? What else we got here? We got wait and rush, that's kind of procrastinating. And then there's just do something. That's another example of just filling your time instead of doing your reports, all right? So I want to go back to chunking here. Chunking, we talked about the report. We talked about your insanely long form. That's cool. 2.5 hours, that is like text. Chunking is something that actually Tony Robbins puts together. He takes all the stuff and he puts it in 3 buckets essentially. And he says, I have to do this stuff for these reasons, and then the stuff part just kind of works itself out. I know that I want a job and graduate and be a millionaire. I want a Ferrari, so I have to fill out these reports and fill out these forms. Right? The stuff that you have to do is just back of the mind, you do something towards that big chunk. Because big picture. So that's another option. I never got into it, but I want to throw that out there to you guys. My whole point is just figure out a why, dig deep, till it hurts, and then you'll do it, and then make yourself accountable. All right, so this is, what is that? Press escape. All right. So we went through this, right? And then adjust as needed, right? So that why thing, I'm going to pick on you a little bit more. You cool with that? Okay. So if the sentences that you type in there aren't really getting you to do it, what's something that you could do to make it work better?
What do you mean, like the actual?
Let's just say that, yeah, you put the sentence in there on the time thing in the Google Calendar, and it's still not getting you.
I could attach a classmate on there and make her follow up, and I'll follow up with her on her.
Beautiful. I like it. You guys like that?
Yeah.
That's holding yourself accountable. Fantastic. And what if you offered to do that for your other classmate?
Yeah.
You
I would,
think the
I
two
would
of you?
add, I would like send her a calendar invite, like part 2 review, page
Perfect.
page 4 or something.
Perfect. Now, would you feel more motivated to get that done? Hells yeah, you would. Sound cool? All right. All right. This is the thing. How much time we got? I don't even know.
We could wrap it up, that would be pretty good. We're starting.
Hold on. Okay. We'll move fast. All right. Ideas without action are useless. Action without ideas are wasteful. Make sense? Okay. So what do you need? We need ideas and actions. You guys seem like a very bright group. Is that fair to say?
Yes.
All right. Some of the smartest people in the world?
Right here.
Yeah, you guys are right. Yes. All right. So we got tons of ideas, but what if you have ideas and you don't know anything about them? Bad things happen. Those bad things are nothing, or you live in a cardboard box. We don't want to do that. So you got to implement your ideas. Fair? Fair. All right. Waste of time. It's costing you money. So you talk about living in a box, right? how much money will you make if you actually do that report, graduate, get a sweet job? Fair amount?
Yeah.
Enough?
Probably better than.
Better than enough, all right? So is anybody here not motivated by money? It's okay if you're not, that's fine. That's okay, cool, super awesome. What are you motivated by?
Doing, I don't know, adventure.
Say it again.
Adventure, doing cool things.
Adventure, okay. So can you do cool things if you're broke and living in a cardboard box?
No.
All right, maybe you consider that an adventure? I don't know. Every time it rains, it's woo!
It'll do it once.
All right, so now we're gonna work on motivation. We're gonna work kind of really quick. You guys know who this guy is?
Yeah.
All right, Van Dam by the River guy? All right, I gotta get pictures that are about a decade newer, don't I? All right, so we talked about controlling beliefs. We got into that a little bit in the last class. Who wasn't in the last class? We got some people here. Man, you were just yawning.
What?
You're yawning?
Yeah, I don't know why.
That's okay. What do we do when people yawn, right?
No.
We gotta stand up. We gotta stand up. Come on, stand up. Stand up. You didn't do anything wrong. You didn't do anything wrong. All right.
These stacks are too long.
So 5 high fives as fast as you can, and then go back to your seat. Right? Woo! High fives. Woo! Woo! There you go. High five. I need one more. All right. All right.
Oh, okay.
That was, it was pretty mundane, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I feel like we should do it again. I feel like you want to do it again, especially.
Damn!
All right, but I feel like we got to do it jazzier, right? Like, let's just say you got your it's not, I want to say 20,000 page report, but it's not 20. It's your 20 page report done. How does it seem so bad?
It's not that big.
Okay,
Double days.
it's just an example. 20 pages ain't no thing. All right, so we're going to high five again, but I want you to pretend that you just got offered the best job in the world that you possibly could. Better than you ever imagined. Fair? All right. But this time we're going to do 10 high fives, because we have more than 5 people here. Keep going. 10 high fives.
Yeah!
All right.
Yes!
Yes.
You got this. All right. There you go. Nice. Nice. Very good.
Sad.
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
All right.
that's good. We're good. Enough celebrating.
So we, we're not done yet. We're close. We're close. We're gonna move. Okay. So your beliefs can help you. You guys get that from the last one, right? You have some negative beliefs. We're gonna get rid of those. We replace them with positive beliefs. Fair? All right. You guys went to the last class, so they'll give you the quick notes later. And we have to make a conscious decision to control your beliefs. Cool? Cool? This is where we're gonna get in the fun part. We're gonna stand up again.
Yeah.
You got this.
I got this.
All right. Can I have you show us how it's done?
Yeah. Sure.
Sure. Okay. So now what we're going to do, we're doing similar to what we did last time. But you can barely see this. U is boldface, right? So we're going to hold your hand. All right. You're going to punch. Right? And it's going to be, you got this. Scream it loud. You got this.
You got this.
But we're going to change it a little bit.
Okay.
We're going to accentuate the U. Fair? So you got this.
You got this.
All right, everybody do that 3 times, right? Ready? You got this.
You got this. You got this.
All right, now we're gonna change it up a little bit. Everybody's left hand doing okay?
Yeah.
Then we gotta switch?
I switched.
All right,
I already got it.
so you got this, but we're gonna accentuate the got. You ready?
Yep.
Lead them up.
You got this. You got this. You got this.
All right. Very good. I like it.
I got it 4 times.
This guy's ready. This guy's ready. All right, now, what do you think's gonna happen next?
Sounds like this.
Smart guy. All right, lead them up.
You got this.
You got
You got this. You got this.
You gotta do it again.
You got this.
All right, thank you very much. You're very well, people. I appreciate it. So does anybody else feel like they need to yawn? It's okay if you don't. Not at all. Not even a little bit.
Not at all.
Okay, so the whole point of this is every time you punch a fist, you got this, right? So right before you write that paper, you're going to sit down and you're going to punch your fist. And what are you going to say? Hell yeah, you do. And then anytime, let's just say you're 12 pages in and you got a little writer's block. Yeah. What are you gonna do then?
You still got it.
Yeah, you do it. All right, fair, cool? All right, I don't even know if I have any more slides. This is the whole game thing, right? It doesn't matter if you want to play it or not, the whole questions, personal communication, the dominating the conversation, the controlling your motivation. You don't have to do any of that stuff. But everybody else around you is, so, or maybe they're not aware of it, right? But they're trying. So if you don't, what happens to what you want? Maybe it goes your way, maybe it doesn't. But if you do control it, what happens? You got this. Fair? All right. So, does your hand hurt?
Oh, yeah, that's a good assumption.
This is Albert Einstein. I have a strong belief in here. Everything is energy, and that's all there is to it. You guys can read, right? So essentially, you guys understand what this means? So you can control the energy that you have, so why not make it positive and let it help you get what you want? Fair enough? All right. What else we got here? Oh! Which statement best describes your energy and concentration level? How's everybody's energy? Scale 1 to 5, just hold up your hand.
6.
6. Is anybody less than a 5? I was really hoping. You guys are hoping somebody would say 4, right? Just hoping. All right. How awesome is this presentation? We got A, awesome, B, so awesome. C, if it were more awesome, it would be served with bacon. Yes. Or I believe I have to ask myself, how can this be more awesome? Cool? All right. So this is me, James with Drawing Customers. I have 2 requests for you guys. One is if you can hold up your hand if you did not learn anything here, because I'd have to hurry up and figure something out. And 2 is I have a little sheet here that I meant to hand out earlier. I have a little newsletter, email newsletter. You guys don't have to subscribe. You don't have to, but it's all fun stuff like what I did here today, getting you guys jazzed and motivated and stuff like that. And if you want to send me an email and say, hey James, I need you to make me accountable, and just say, hey, I got something due on Tuesday, April, whatever, or in May, or I need to graduate, I can keep you accountable. Fair enough? No cost. All you got to do is just send me an email, and I'll set it up so it just happens. Fair? All right. So we got these 2 sheets. I'll just set those there. Feel free to fill them out or not. It's up to you. Other than that, I think we should clap. Everybody get... Would you guys be willing to run around and do 20 high fives? We have 20 people?
Yeah.
I think we should. 20 high fives. There we go. There we go. There we go.
High five.
Keep it going. Woo! Woo! Fantastic. Thank you very much.
20 high
You
five.
guys did great. Thank you.
Yeah.
Money.
Yeah.
Money.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
One more.
One more.
Right for lunch.
Oh, my hand.
We can just give James one more round of applause.